Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Going Optimal. We're going to jump into a Kaldheim draft today per chat's narrow vote, edging out the core set chaos slightly, I think by one vote. I didn't even ask chat on best of one or best of three, though, because I want to check in with best of three. Maybe I should get this going immediately. I'm not sure how long the queue is going to be today, so I'm going to jump in now and talk, because this could, I don't know how long it's going to be, but we can talk while the queue fills anyway. And one of the reasons I'm not sure is because, like, it's known that, like, towards the end of a format, and especially towards the end of a format, best of three can fill up slowly. And also, this is the last day of the month, which means that a lot of people who care about rank are going to be off pursuing rank goals today, trying to play in the best of one queues and get to whatever plateau they're looking to hit in their rank life. I don't care about rank. I care about making this as inexpensive to play as possible, spreading out my play among multiple accounts. And one of the things to do to make this as inexpensive as possible is to recognize where, okay, at this time of season in the month, at the end of the month, and especially at the end of a set, best of three for highly ranked players is going to be a much softer place to play than obviously the top tables of rank. But you know, I'm not anybody who makes rank their priority and is one of the people I'm dodging today because they are off looking for mythic or diamond or whatever their current goal is. That's great. I love people having play goals and a target to hit. And if your target is rank on Arena, that is totally cool. There's aspirational reasons to do that, but I like system gaming and figuring out, you know, if we're trying to optimize our win rate, where do we want to be? And I imagine that this is the cue for win rate optimization for us right now. Now, I also want to call out that win rate is not everything. Fun is everything. We're fundamentally here for fun. We're putting the fun in fundamentals. And if fun is playing against the best competition you can find and getting into the best, trickiest games you can find, then this might be what you don't want to do. You know, this might be, I'm avoiding this queue. I want better competition. I want to challenge myself. That's awesome as well. But here we go. We got there. I'm going to switch to draft mode now and thank my sponsor, Card Kingdom. It happens to get our friends on YouTube. Ha! You tried to skip my Card Kingdom pitch, but here I am. If you want to get a Varagoth Bloodski Sire, you can pick that up from CK. I'm sure they got a bunch of those because it's not really seeing, I don't know, is this doing anything in Constructed? Kind of interesting, but doesn't feel like it. I don't know if this is even better than just Packmate, though. Packmate, especially in a pack with only one other green card and a medium one at that. It's in the better color for sure, right? So I'm going to let the Bloodski go here. Let's see, what's our... Yeah, we have... So this would be gems, you know. Oh, one of the things I should... one of the things that the 17 lands data does is really define for us how many gems a card is worth, right? It really... I'm going to stick with a Packmate, but I was listening to the LR episode and listening to the data guy explain that Coma, you know, like the blue-green Mega Bomb, you know, it has like it increases your win rate by like 5% to have it in your deck, right? And that's interesting to know. I'm going to take the Outrider here. It matches our Packmate. It continues to cut good green. We could spec on the Agar, but I think specking on the Outrider with the Packmate to start is where we want to be. In any case, so if you assume that something like Coma is the top impactor of win rate in the format, and we know that it's like that it affects it by 5%, it helps give you a scale, and you can say, like, at most, the most powerful card in the set is going to do for me is plus my win rate by 5%. You can start to scale it, and you can find some other ones. It'd be interesting to look at some of the cards. Now, of course, if you're rare drafting, you're taking Coma anyway, right? But I'm saying from a scale standpoint, the 17 lands data is really interesting for us for anybody trying to figure out when should I take the card for my deck and when should I take the card for the gems if my bottom line goal is gem EV. What are we taking here? Weird pack to follow with these two. I don't love anything. We take the mountain, I guess. I mean, I did take this Outrider, and I want to make that work. And there's some stuff here that's playable, but nothing amazing. That's, I mean, yeah, I'm going to take the mountain because of that. Outrider makes me want to take the mountain. Now we get a chasm opportunity here, or pillar collar. Whew. This is hard to pass here. Elf ramp is fair. I think we might wheel that. I still think the Sentinel wheels a lot, and I think maybe appropriately. Like it's not an every deck kind of card. But yeah, I think Pillar is better than Avalanche Caller. This just is removal in a way that is... my bacon has been saved by Pillar so many times, and especially in a format with so much good equipment. That's one of the reasons I like the Pillar here over the Caller. There are times where I haven't been able to do it, what I want to do with the Caller, but Pillar has been like, you're playing equipment? Well... go ahead and equip and tell me what to tap, right? So I'm going to take Pillar, but the Woodland Chasm was interesting there too. Wow, Clarion Spirit, pick 5? Gang, what are we supposed to do here? That's so signally, but we're not even near it, and we do have Burgi, Behold, and a Snow Forest. I think we should stick to the snow direction. But wow. Yeah, you want to go white-green? I mean, we could. We could. This is a very powerful card. Yeah, I think I'm with chat on Strider or Spirit. And the Scald there too. Man, all right, I'm going to take the Spirit. It's so darn good, gang. It's so good. I'm going to take it, but if you took the snow payoff there, I don't blame you. I'm just still trying to read the table a little bit, and that's a heck of a card to be getting 5th. So I want to take that seriously and consider that option. We could take the Snow-Covered Plains, end up being a green-white Snow Splash. This is or Wings. This is a kind of a weak pack. Yeah, people don't really want this, right? But I guess we take the Wings. If we end up playing the Clarion Spirit, I doubt the Snow-Covered Plains is going to be that important to us, and it might wheel anyway. Cavalry might be even a better consideration there. But look, see, now we get an Avalanche Collar, and another Plains. But I'm going to take the Avalanche Collar, and we're going to try to back up into the snow plan, and then we get a snow-covered island here, which we're going to take over the amulet. I would like this amulet, but I am on the snowland. Squash also fine, yeah, but if we're doing snow, we need to start getting those lands or we're going to be super sad. I have failed to prioritize the lands when I was touching on important snow stuff like the Pillar, and it really came back to haunt me in the Outrider. So nothing here matters much. I suppose Slumber Mound could be a thing we do, so let's take that. If we end up, like, right now Spirit was a hedge that looks like maybe is not going to see play. We're looking more towards Teamer Snow here. We are best of 3. I like a Raven form much better in best of 3, where you can figure out if it's time to bring it in. There's also a Run Ashore, which I don't mind running one of either, but I'm going to start with the Raven form. There's another Run Ashore, but I'm going to take the cheaper interaction so that if we need to survive aggro, we have Binds. Binds are another one I think I'm going to like more in best of 3. If your opponent is ramping up to monsters and not really doing a lot early, you can take this out. But against Boros aggro, we're going to be happy to have Bind. Longboat. I don't think Longboat's ever making it. I doubt this seas is... Oh, look, we got that bug again. I figured... I don't know. Do they know about this? I haven't reported this specific... I think I reported the first one. No, I reported it already. I mean, I could file... Like, what did we get there? We got demonic gifts instead. I guess we'll take this. Red seems pretty open. Red, blue, green. Yeah, Team or Snow seems like where we're being pushed. And on that front, I like the Fjord here. Couple of contenders for the white deck in Bound in Gold and Kaya's Onslaught. But besides the Clarion Spirit pack, yeah, I mean, the thing is, I have filed that bug. So, like, if it's about messaging to wizards that this bug exists, I've done that. So now it becomes whether I want to spend my time chasing some extra gems or gold. And given my gem independence, the answer might be no. But if you are scrapping for every last gem you can get on your account, then absolutely file every bug you encounter, because they'll pay you back. But if I had never reported it, I would put it in to make sure it was reported, but I have. We've reported it, so they ought to know about it. And now it's on them to deal with it. Mirror Lake. Haven't seen much green since early in pack 1, so maybe I need to take that sign. We could also take the coal. Yeah, Lindy is fair. Yeah, let's take Lindy, because also these have been wheeling a lot. If nobody else is in blue-green, we might see this on the wheel. So I'm with the gang on Lindy here. Bergie, worth picking up, I think, over the Horizon Seeker. Would like a Horizon Seeker in a 3-color snow deck, especially if we can pick up these snow lands in each color. And then... but it's common. I think we'll be able to find one or two before the end of the draft, and this does real stuff. If you can play the horn here, it's doing some good stuff. Furnace, what are we talking about? I don't know what you're hearing. Apparently chat is hearing things I'm not. I think maybe you're hearing some other distant dog, but Rocket is not doing nothing. Highland Forest is right on plan. I would like a Squash. Firewalker, reasonable. Snakeskin Veil, playable. Frostpire Land, playable in Teamer for sure, but this is exactly what we're looking for. Gedanmore wants to commit to Giants. Nah, I'm going to commit to Icebind Pillars and Avalanche Collars. There's a bind here. You take this Giant. There's also this Liberator. I feel like we're starting to be heavier red than... Oh, well, it could be my old man ears. Truly, like... As we get older, the fidelity of the ends of the spectrum fall off. So could be us olds didn't even hear anything. Yeah, Hulk at some point. I'm going to take Liberator, though. Take Berserker. We're a little bit like these Liberator Berserker type picks aren't exactly snow heavy, but... Shepherd Splash, maybe on the, does it, maybe so. Yeah, we could have potentially splash, but I think you start getting into too many splashes, or you can get, you know, I'm gonna take Berserker here though, and we can have a aggro snow. I don't know, this is perfect though for our mana. Wouldn't mind that Raider, but I'm gonna keep taking these lands. Yeah, I don't know. With Bind and Avalanche Collar, I don't know about if these are splashes, but I guess you'd splash an Avalanche Collar with the right density. Certainly the red aggro seems to be here along with, you know, we could have been, looks like we could have almost taken that coal and almost made a fine Boros Sitch. I'll take a reinforcements over given lack of other stuff. We could take a null. Maybe a null comes out of the board, but I don't feel like a null is a real card in the format. But look at this. Yeah, Onslaught still here from the opening pack. So, I mean, we're middle of pack 2. Seems tough to really build on the spirit now, but obviously we could have. My question is, are we aggro enough for Fearless Pup? This is kind of a weird draft. Blue-green snow plus red aggro? Time to pivot. I question whether we can pivot at pack 2, pick 10, though. Maybe? I'm also not unhappy with what we're doing in our core space, but we can take like a Valk here. But see, I'm going to get a Broken Wings, and that helps. But yeah, late Valk too. So but again, I think that, well, green could be the arguable splash as well. The only thing I'm sure of is that red needs early if we're going to play all this aggro red range. Pyre works against kind of what we're doing. Bind or the ridiculously late Valk? I don't know. Is it too late? Keep saying it's too late, and then stuff keeps showing up that's like, wow. I'm gonna take this though. Somebody playing white is getting rewarded. Sika is not what we're seeking, really. Shimmerdrift Veil or Struggle. Yeah, do you think we're close enough? I mean, I hear you. The Prismatic Bridge is powerful. But just because we're 3-color snow doesn't mean we're 5-color bridge, right? I think it's Veil. And we try to pick up some more payoffs here. Packmate or Behold. Outrider for that payoff lane I'm talking about. Another payoff. Packmate. Is Packmate just better than Outrider? Might be. Behold. Number 1. Packmate is probably better if you're sure that you're going to be base green, but look at our early cards. There's not a lot of green. Although, of course, you can foretell the Packmate and it's still fine later. But I think I'm going to go for... Yeah, well, now I'm timing out. Packmate is better than Behold in a vacuum, absolutely. But we're not in a vacuum. We have a deck. And the deck is more blue-green or blue-red at the low end. That was my consideration there. Yeah, another Veil, though, over this other snow support. Maybe I hope to wheel the Troll, but we're taking another Veil. Cyclone Summoner is playable in our deck. 3 Seasons should wheel, and we can consider that, or the Troll. But Summoner in blue is powerful enough to take, for sure. We'll grab that. Snow Mountain. I think we actually want a Sculptor over Frost or Mountain. If we wheel a Frost, okay. But Sculptor is... Now, I was just talking about how we don't have the early green, but, you know, between the 2 Packmates and now picking up a Sculptor, maybe we do pivot back towards blue being the splash. And if a Caller comes late, that's fine. Also, our fixing is good enough that we should be able to handle our splash. You know, we should be able to be pretty consistent on our 3 colors. Horizon Seeker or Squash. I guess we are low on interaction, right? I think it's time for a Squash just because I really want that Horizon Seeker. But yeah, we don't have enough interaction in this deck yet, so we're going to take the Squash. Another Sculptor or a Vandal. Not the land we're looking for. I think we want another Sculptor. Vandal. We do have a Broken Wings, so we can bring that in. But I'm going to take Sculptor. I hear you wanting this interaction, but ramping, doubling our sculptors in a deck that has this type of snow land, I think is worth it. Sulfurous Mire for additional snow with a, but it's basically a need to be tapped mountain, snow mountain, or a snakeskin veil. 33, 32, 31, 3, 29, 27, 6, 5, 24. We are at 24 playables. So I'm going to take the veil. We don't have a ton of playables right now. Oh, this is interesting. Pick or a sentinel. What do you like? They do similar jobs. We don't have a ton of, I guess, pick. I like pick, given that we were doing cav, 2 calves, a liberator, a pup, and 2 sculptors. But yeah, sentinel's not bad either. But I'm gonna take the pick. And are we ever even running this mire? Yeah, we might not be playing the pup. And are we playing this mire? Do we need it? I think we don't need another bind, though. I'm going to take it. Icehide Troll is a sight for my eyes. We have 2 binds already. I don't know what circumstances we're choosing to run 3 binds. And I'll take a second Broken Wings over the Depart. We didn't end up with the Vandal we were hoping to find one of. Yeah, I really don't like a null even out of the board, I think is what those picks express. 40 on the grind. This deck is okay, but would have been better as the white-red Boros aggro. And maybe, I don't know, maybe seeing that Clarion Spirit and the Pacifism aura pick 5 was really just like, maybe you should have gone harder towards the white given the strength of that signal. But then we immediately got more payment for the blue snow plan. So gotta forgive myself a little bit. It's easy to get hindsighty about that stuff. But certainly the Clarion Spirit was a wildly strong sign, which is why I took it, but then didn't quite end up following it because the subsequent packs did not quite measure up. Like if we'd found another, let's say, I don't know, not another Clarion Spirit, maybe that's greedy, but like name a decently good white uncommon or a top white common, even a raptor, you know, something right afterwards that maybe would have kept us on that path and we would have ended up there. But really strong snow stuff appeared right after, so yeah, the Valkyries were all over. But I don't consider, as much as I like the Valkyries, it wasn't, they're not signally like a Clarion Spirit is. Another Bound in Gold could have been, yeah, another Bound in Gold would have convinced me probably. All right, well, let me update my data here. Get this gem grind logged at least. 40 on the grind. All right. So, yeah, this is the thing. When you pick all these lands, you think, all right, we got all these cuts. Oh, we got 3 cuts, maybe. So, let's see. First, let's look at our snow sitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 snow lands. 7 if we want to cut the one that enters tapped without any value in the black for us. And then some slight payments. I think we cut the Yeti. As I'll play the Yeti if we feel like we're going to get to a long game. Yeti's just bad against aggro. But it's good if we're in a long game control situation where we're just looking to break a stalemate. So, and yeah, maybe cut 1 bind until we understand the Raven form. Might just be this. Unless there's something really embarrassing in the other colors here. Let me get to deck building 2. Get out of your way a little bit. This means playing the pup, but we do have Raven Wings and Goldvein pick, so a couple of equips make me like the pup a little more than I would normally in this type of deck. Yeah, I'll get to land after I do some counting here, but I do think this is our deck. So we want heavy green, red, but enough blue to get us to the summoner. And so it's suggesting if we change nothing, we would, how many blue? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 potential blue sources. Red is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and green is on 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, we're definitely cutting this. Can't cut the snow island though. So, and then we just need another forest, and then maybe we want to cut the mire for a mountain. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, now I see. So Rocket is trying to get to the backyard where my wife is meeting with some folks on this project, and he's pretty upset about that. But it's funny, if you're hearing him right now, it's totally you youthful folks are hearing something that me, the old guy, cannot. It's kind of funny. Hey, Rocket, come here. Come here. You come here. You come here. You can't go out there. Why don't you come over here where there's a bunch of people who would love to say hi and would love to hear you stop whining. Come on. Come on. I'm very nervous. I'll just leave my headphones off for a minute. Are you okay? You miss Mama. She's okay. Your mama's okay, I promise, buddy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. She's with strangers, Dad. I know, but we asked them to come here. We asked them to come here. Soapbox doggy. So stressful. So stressful to be a dog who loves my wife so much. He's 11? Closing in on, is he closing in on 12 or 11? I forget. Let's see. There's a command for it. You can exclamation point rocket and it has his birth date. You okay? You are funny. All right. Say goodbye to everybody. Bye, everybody. More whining imminent, I'm sure. Rocket. The trouble is I'm not going to be able to scold him if he's whining because I can't hear it. And you can. He's not 12 yet. He might be turning 12 soon, right? Yeah, I should actually update that. I'm surprised I did it that way. My date is usually year, month, day, but his birthday is on May 3rd. Yeah, he's an old man dog. Yeah, like, but his breed can live pretty long. Like I've heard tales of some long-lived mini pins, but we are, I don't know if there's any Oatmeal fans out there, but one of the Oatmeal's most famous and most hilarious comics was his comic on his dogs. And one of my favorite panels is that he represents his two dogs as like grumpy old men, like old timey men, and they're like running to the door, murderer, murderer. But as a small dog, he could go for much long. You know, we could have him for quite a while. But I bring up the Oatmeal because the Oatmeal has a small dog named Rambo, and Rambo passed away a couple days ago, and the Oatmeal just gave a wonderful eulogy to Rambo on Facebook that I think anybody who has lost a furry friend can relate to. It was very sweet, but it reminded me that I mean, part of his point was that, you know, on March 28th, Rambo was his usual self. On March 29th, it all went south and was suddenly over. And so I try not to take any day I have with my furry buddy for granted. I know that he's on the older side of Dogtown, but hopefully we have him for years. But if I were to lose Rocket anytime soon, while it would break my heart, I'm living my best Rocket life and remembering to value all the time I have with my favorite pupper. Okay, back to getting some more land in this deck. Did anybody redeem? Nobody redeemed land, so 6 forests, six basic forests. And then, funny, so forests are the only basics we're running? That's kind of how it played out. Let's go with these. Clearly you're not a dedicated enough viewer, Mama, or you'd have more channel points. That's what we're going with. I don't even know what our creature count is. Are we doing okay there? If 15/8's pretty good. We got the reinforcements as well for some more critters. Well, I probably do need to do some pricing adjustments, but talk about a thing that's low on my list. But if any of my mods want to take a pass, I'll make adjustments on your recommendations, but I just can't prioritize that. What are we calling this? Teamer Snow again. We got cavalries. We got some giants, some sculpting. Maybe make a Blizzard joke. Like, what's a Blizzard game? Let's just call this Hearthstone because it's in a Blizzard. Sorry about that. I'll get out of your way. WoW would be good. Yeah, WoW. How about that? WoW. I like that. That's even better. It's a little bit sneakier. WoW. Should I do the All right. I'll drop this hint. WoW. Oh, don't even worry about it. I don't even want the mods to do that, really. You should spend your time better as well. Nobody should spend their time on that except me and later. Let's get into battlefield mode and do a par poll. I didn't. What was Queen's Redemption? Oh, sleeve. Sorry, Queen. I missed it. I checked for bling and then there wasn't any there and you added it late, but we can do that soon or we can give you your money back. But we're going to keep this. I think we're going Sculptor. my default is always to play my my ramp. Even the Avalanche Caller doesn't really change that. I'm gonna play Sculptor, although we may just pick, equip, attack, depending on whether the longboat is available to block. Could even go Slumbermound Outrider and just get our next tap land out. They don't have a block for the longboat, though, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up here and get that train going. Although, it's funny, I mean, I'm picking to get ramp, but this is ramp. I don't know. Now I'm questioning my own life choices here. We could go Cavalry Caller. That's another. But although I think we just want to get Outrider down because then we can make these things big. So I'm going to actually, yeah, do the original idea of tap land down and Outrider. Yeah, I hear you, Siriana. That was also obviously one of my leanings. Get the treasure while I can. But since the result of treasure is ramp, like I have the ramp. Let's just do the ramp thing and get the Outrider going. Interesting choice to attack, which I'm kind of fine with because it means that this is not available to crew on blocks. Now, definitely playing a forest, right? There's nothing else to do there, but we can go, and we can also get the pick going, but I do like Avalanche Caller on the snow, untap. Well, Avalanche Caller pick? Avalanche Caller reinforce? Maybe Cavalry reinforce. Yeah, we can get them going with counters, but we miss an attack with the Sculptor. That's all I'm wondering about. And I think so. We have 3 mana left. We could get the pick hooked up onto the Outrider. And yeah, okay, let's do that. Might even offer the Cavalry for the longboat if they come in with the longboat again. Cavalry's fine. I mean, we don't have anything like Lindy that would be awesome to haste up. And the Caller hastes out snow lands already, although we only have the 1, so we have to, like, we could cast it off of it, sculpt it to untap, and then attack with it. Yeah, if we draw Lindy, that would be real. Draugr, I would trade off with now too. I mean, what else are we going to do? Oh, Frostpire is interesting. It would kill our Sculptor, but I like playing that and setting up for that possibility. Yeah, they probably do the pet off the rune. That's what I would assume. We could send in a land, but then it just dies. So let's go Pyre, Caller with the snow bonus. Could send in Sculptor with pick. Could also send in Avalanche Caller with pick. Make a 3/5. And if they, well, we don't want to lose the collar to the Draugr. Question is, what are we willing to trade for the Draugr? So, but I mean, that could be worth it. We just don't have a lot of snow land to activate with this right now anyway, is what I was thinking. But we also, yeah, I guess, all right, let's do that. I'm with chat on this. Offering the Sculptor seems fine here. They could just trade for the longboat, though. Maybe we don't even... Yeah, I don't even like that. I don't mind moving it over. But now I actually regret that, too, if we're going to do this. Yeah, never mind. I regret that, and I'm not going to... What I'm going to do is foretell this instead. Oh, that's even better. So we just have to choose what to lose. Outrider's kind of done its job with these two. It can't make these bigger. Let's see what we draw, but I might be willing to leave the pick here, fire off the 2 damage land, and just let our Outrider go. But we're obviously taking that because we're planning to blow up the world anyway. I mean, yeah, no blocks. Even Slumber Mound, but we'll get to that later. I do like this play, and last chance to save the Outrider over the Sculptor. And can we do it all if we do that? Because we have, this requires 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 total mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can do it with the untap and the move. Like, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yes, we can move and still pull it off is the main thing, especially because we have this forest for 8. And then we need, what, double blue, right? So we go blue. And I think I will play the forest and preserve the treasure at least. Ooh, look at those. Look at those. Let's get mate into pillar. Oh, wait, never mind. I might as well put them on the bottom because now they're going to our I Forgot Faithful. But that's all right. This is a great play for us. We lost some good stuff, but still, the game's looking good for us here. And we can even do this, and I will. Yeah, they should have crewed. I think they just spaced. I've been there. I mean, I play perfectly at all times. Ignore the mistakes made this game already. Ah, nice recovery from Oppo. Maybe that's why they were so willing to play into it, but then not enough of a recovery. All right, what did we see that we want to respond to? They are doing heavy, heavy black. Boy, we didn't see much beyond the black. But we see red. Touch of blue. But it looks like it's red, black. Red, black. Stuff? I don't know. What's going on here, Oppo? But I would assume we need to be playing, you know, this is a fairly, I don't know, I was going to say aggressive, but it's not even. It's just kind of a mid-range pile of black stuff. And on that front, maybe we just run it back. We could add another bind to the mix since they seem to have smaller things going on. Binding a... But I don't know. I'm just going to run it back. I want to see more out of it. I guess we could have brought in like Broken Wings because they had a boat, but I'm not scared of the boat. It's fine. It's not unplayable. I don't play it that much myself, but I just don't think it's worth responding to out of the board unless there's other stuff you're trying to get with whatever you're bringing in. Oh, Oppo. Excuse me. Yeah, it's possible. GYC thinks maybe they just gave up in disgust. Well, we were asking ourselves, let's go find out if it's softer in best of 3 right now on the last day of the month towards the end of a format. And if we got an Oppo who's not even interested in trying to win the next 2 after losing the first game, I think we have our answer. Oh, maybe so, maybe so. Hat says sprint for bio, so could very well be, because now it looks like we're playing. Although maybe it timed out and we're just timing out to this. This is a keep for us, though. We need some help off the top, but all of our colors in 2 lands is a nice place to start. Yeah, it looks like they didn't return. It was just the first timeout leads to advancing to hand selection. Well, maybe I'll go get a beverage. I'll be right back, gang. Good timing. Oh yeah, coming back at 9 minutes and 50 seconds to tap a land. What? What is this reward and why do we have it? Oh, it's probably from the track because we bought the mastery pass. No. Duh, bears. I'll have to take your word for it, Pablo. Hey, fool, welcome. We're gonna keep this. Ooh, Liberator with wings seems all right. I'm still in the middle of it, Radiantware, and I want to finish it before I speak to the AMA on my plate about using that data. So, a lot of options here. We can literally cast every spell in our hand, or, you know, we can't cast the pack mate, but you know what I mean. If they don't come up with anything, just straight attacking with the Liberator and making a 2-1 seems great. If they come up with another line, we can pivot to something like Packmate or Wings, Pup on the next turn. So let's go ahead and play Liberator and try to get this set up to start making some creatures for us. Whether it is next turn or a couple turns down the road when we put some wings on it. Or maybe they snap it off and it is an answered question. There you go, it's an answered question. So now, if we find a mountain, I would go Cav Pup. Very clever Magic Gods. We found a mountain, but it's not what I was talking about. Maybe we play that anyway. Let's see, what do we want to do? We can, nah, we should 2-spell. Do Packmate and tap land. That's true. But I kind of like either Packmate or Pup. Packmate and Pup, or Packmate or Pup and Wings. Yeah, I'm on Pup Foretell too, Scawny. I think that's what I'm going to do. Winged Pup is not bad either. Trouble with the Axe Guard last turn is that I guess I could have gone Axe Guard tap land. That would have been okay. Oh, yeah, that's what Hat was saying. Sure. So now we've got an untapped land. What do we want to do about this? We can go... This can't block, so we do have a free attack with the Pup. And we could go... But I think, again, we want a 2-spell. But maybe it starts with... Packmate, and then we see what we draw, and then choose from there. Lindy, hello. So yeah, now we get another 2-drop here. I think we should just pick the Cav. We could end up hasting something relevant. Although we could Cav next turn and set up for the hasty Lind the turn after. Yeah, that's true. Maybe it is Wings, but it almost doesn't matter. If we intend to cast this next turn. We could also do this threatens. But let's go with the Wings. I think that's fine. Nah, I don't want to block. We're gonna be willing to try and race here. For now, let's see what Oppo comes up with. They got a couple of Foretold cards in red-blue. Of course, you immediately start thinking Demon Bolt and Behold. Those are the most likely things Foretold against red-blue, just because of their power level and their rarity, right? I have a drinking problem. I can't get it all into my mouth. See, again, I haven't seen Airplane in 30+ years, so I had forgot that joke, too. Don't Call Me Shirley is a joke I remember from that movie. Frostpire not the best matchup here. And guess we cav it. Trouble is we can't do both. We still are kind of a little choked on red and blue. So I guess we are tap this. And I think we cav ahead of the possible Lindy. And we wings on defense. I didn't see an attack I liked. I mean, we could have put the wings on the pup and threatened, but then we don't have our... Was it free? I guess if they didn't want to lose their Raven, sure. But it's still a 1-for-1, right? They double block and we kill the Raven and then the Hulk kills the pup. So it wasn't free as much as a conscious 1-for-1 that we would maybe want to take. Do we want to take this trade? With Lindy, I just like keeping their stuff off the board. So yeah, I'm going to take this trade. I don't think it's sus. I think they're wanting to force us to lose this so that this can start really chomping some life. It's true. I could even crack back for more. We could crack back for 11. That's a pretty big crackback. And we get some life back. Okay, fine. Well, let's see what their 2-drop is. Even if they have a 2-drop, it might not be something that we're that afraid of. And I also had to get lucky, though, to draw a basic here. We didn't actually have guaranteed Lindy, but I guess the 7 free crackback was enough of a possibility. But now we get Lindy attacking, and we'll see if this lands. This might get countered. Well, that's interesting. It didn't get countered, but there was a pause. This could be, again, just Behold the Multiverse that they're going to cast on end step. That explains it. But we are going to make them have it. So they can eat the pup. Or they can trade. That's all right. That's a 1-for-1. That's pretty good for them, I guess. What do we want? Dead. Probably just the bigger thing. Right? I mean, this has some play. It also flies. I don't know. Maybe we want the flyer dead. Interesting. They both fly. What am I saying? I guess we want the bigger flyer dead. All right. I'm going to do it that way, but I'm not sure. I love that question, Skeptical Hat, because you're asking something of like 18-year-old Ryan. That's the Ryan that saw those 2 movies. This Ryan hasn't seen those 2 movies. Oppo getting some action with the Crush the Weak. Crushed our weaklings, but we can still come out of this okay. Can't really crush their weaklings. Need to block in the air up there. Need to get going on the ground here with the Avalanche Caller. let's see. We're not technically dead in the air next turn. We have to swing away. We can leave one of these back to block in the air and give us ostensibly a couple more turns. And then maybe Avalanche Caller with multiple snow lands is enough of an aggressive crackback to get there. So I'm going to send the land, and I'm going to try and block with the Packmate. And then we can move the wings and try to block again. Or we can even move the wing. Yeah, like we only can block one thing at a time with the wings, but block Packmate with wings, then block something else with wings, including potentially a land. Oh, no, we can't equip. Like, we could equip the land, but as soon as it turns back into only a land, the equip falls off. So we don't have a flying creature for the follow-up block. We can't block in the air with a land, is my clunky words trying to say. Well, you don't often see a Kinseeker get there on bird, but there you go. Bringing in both Broken Wings, that's pretty obvious. And we'll take out the rare 3/3 flyer over the common 3/3 flyer. And I think we just are dead now. Not just dead. I guess we can play something in the air and block on the ground. It's just not very, not a very good spot here. Collar can help block on the ground as well. We just need something in the air, and the trouble... And I guess we can put the Sculptor in the air and it can trade, so that is something. And we do have one 4/4 on the ground, but we probably have to block 4/4 and Collar to kill the Kinseekers. Although I guess he can bounce the Kinseekers. Well, this is not a good-looking spot for us, but technically...
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
All right, now, on the other hand, we are straight up. All right, let's get that other wings in. Let's... As much as there are a bunch of flyers going on, I'm still not on Arachniform. Raven form, we don't need to give him more flyers. We could bind. Binding a flyer might not be the worst. If they're getting Ravens out on turn 2 and 3 or whatever. So let's say if we brought in another bind, maybe Snakeskin Veil's got to go. And... the Pup? Pup was kind of a marginal include anyway in exactly this style. The pick and the wings made it a little more playable, but let's do that. My chat's going deep on Val Kilmer's filmography. Pretty sure it was The Island of Dr. Moreau, right? That was his best work. Let's keep this. How is nobody talking about Top Gun, or did I miss that? Hey, Mario. Well, we're definitely foretelling this pack mate given a lack of a second land here. Very least we can do this on 3 and hopefully we get 2 shots at our 3rd land with the pack mate foretelling. I liked him in the doors. He was a good Jim Morrison. All right, give us how about a tap land? Boo! We got a regular. No, I'm not booing you, Magic Gods. Thank you for the land. D is such a man of the moment. Here is a person. Let's raid him. I mean, I like Mario. Hey, Mario. There you go. You pay for it, you can get it. But you're very man of the moment, D. Yeah, I'm going to pick up and go. Should get us a treasure. And I like binding the Mistwalker. D acknowledges being impulsive and reactive. Interesting. Nobody around here would have believed that, D. You seem so measured, calm, and long-viewed about things. You're right, Hat. That's why I think it's great. I've never heard D be so self-aware. Frost Auger, that seems bold. I don't feel like we saw enough snow to justify a Frost Auger. But who am I to blow against the wind? I'm gonna go Breakneck Equip. Thanks, Mario. Appreciate that. Yeah, this Frost Auger feels like worse than a mulligan in this particular game, just because they seem a little short on land, although, yeah, they're fine on land, but, I mean, it's tough to take a turn to activate, and then it just feels like the chances of hitting are pretty low, although they get a free activate there with that line. What do we want? Could go ahead and play the Horn, but that doesn't feel quite right to me. I think I like land tap, Liberator, Foretell, Reinforcements, and then save pick. I think we did, right? Because I think I rated you after you took me out of the event. We're talking about the Sweatsuit Invitational. That's happening tomorrow. Watch Oppo pull some fabulous snow card off of that after I slammed it being in the deck. And we don't know exactly what else is in the deck, but based on game 1 and based on what we're even seeing in the graveyard, I'm just wondering how many hits does this deck have? Wish we could get a giant out to make this squash a little cheaper. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total mana. We could squash and reinforce. We can't really squash. We could squash, equip, and attack. We can't boast in that spot, right? No, maybe we can even boast with the treasure. Okay, let's do that. Let's do this. And oh no, I guess we can't boast, but still, I still like that we can attack. That's why I didn't really do. I wasn't 100% sure, but even without the ability to boast, I was down with kill and go with the Liberator here. Yeah, we could foretell, but this is we could cast this. You mean? Yeah, this is already foretold, and we will if we can connect. Let's see if they want to block the Liberator or not. Or kill it with fire. Interesting. Kind of like reinforcements, Bergie, or, you know, Horn, but maybe hold the land? No, we couldn't have. Boast is 3. That was what I was looking at. We had 2 mana after treasure. So Horn, reinforcements, yes. My question is, do we play the forest or not? Do we play the land, or do we hold it to pitch to the Horn? You like making a troll? Yeah, we do have this. We have time though, and if we troll now, we start losing our land to do the Horn thing. I'm gonna go Horn. I'm gonna do the reinforcements, Horn, hold land. Hat wants to just play it. Totally. I just feel like if we draw something awesome next turn, though, Hat, we're really going to be happy to have the forest to pitch, so I'm going to hold. The other thing we do is pitch, assuming we find a land this turn. Yeah, I'm going to wait. I think we can wait. I'm just like, I really like everything I'm seeing from Oppo. This is the only card I don't understand from Oppo. But we don't know what they're leaving in the board. Maybe there's just nothing better. Not the white one, not the white one, not the white one, not the white one, not the... Okay, flying. Oh, I guess we knew that. Flying. White one would help them really get back into it here. Not that they're out of it. This is a close game. I just like this setup for us. Take these raven wings. Let's do the plan. Gotta cast this while we have the mana and time to do so. What time being, like, if we don't, we lose it. I mean, you gotta cast your Horn stuff, right? But we can Raven Wings and fly. If we pick, we just make them block with the Augur. We could trade a Berserker for an Augur if they wanted to do that double block. I would rather just get one of these up in the air with them on 12 and get in for 3. Start putting a clock on and figure out where we might put the pick next turn. Do you know the story about the guy who memorized the timing for Press Your Luck? That's maybe my favorite game show story ever. Oh my god. Like, it's not random? Yeah, oh my god, it's so good. Guy memorized the Press Your Luck patterns and destroyed the show. And watching the replays is great because, of course, nobody can fathom that he's memorized the patterns, so he just looks like the luckiest contestant in the history of the show. Funny, we got an Icehide Troll and a Boreal Outrider, but no green snow to actually make that work. And I'm not gonna... We could pitch the Icehide to come up with 2, but I think Icehide is better than random 2 off the top here, so we're gonna do that. Oh, he died. Oh, that's too bad. Well, he put a great story in before he left. Hulk up in the air. I'm definitely sending in this. I don't think we equip, though. We could even do it on the ground. We could put pick. How about this? Pick on the ground creature. And leave the wings on the air creature. Hulk can't block alone, so either of these trade for either of these if the Hulk wants to gang up. Could even send in the Raven, or send in the Outrider, and because all 3 of these do that, and they're at 9, and we're not even getting anything out of the Outrider this turn, so yeah, I've talked myself into that too. We're going to send team here. I don't think we want to spend time using the Slumber Mound. I guess I mean, it does give us a creature, but Icehide Troll's so good. Let's just play that. Yeah, that's fair. I guess they can 2-for-1 us, right? Because the Hulk can eat one and the Raven trades for another. I still think attacking with everything is right, but you're right that it's not a clean double block as I was presenting it. So they have a pretty good block that way. Oh, they're not even thinking. They didn't think about it though. They didn't need to do that. They could have let their Frost Augur live because of what chat was saying. Let's see, what's Hodge's line? Deal 2 to board, block giant. Do we have enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we do. Because I was not thinking as well as others here. Yeah, that's true. If the giant's the only one, it can't block, but we assume they're going to come up with a creature. So yeah, I should have taken out the giant, but I do like that we can drop. My plan all along here has been to drop the Icehide Troll, so I wasn't even thinking about doing land shenanigans. That's the thing. Yeah, we also only have the 1 blue, so there's that. But honestly, didn't even think about it. Was all about getting this troll out. And I will hook it up with a pick. Why not? Still get an activation. Let's see if they can add to the board so that the Hulk can block again. Hopefully just fly in Icehide Troll with 1 activation is enough to force some chumps, if not give us the straight up win. There's somewhat in the tank. I don't know what this is, but yeah, Cinderheart Giant does not get it done. This is like GG because as long as we don't attack on the ground, the Hulk cannot block in the air alone. So think we just got the game here. How am I doing on clock? 13:26 for the third game. We don't need to even show him the broken wings. Just gonna do that. Oh, are we one short? Well, we still have, we'll get him next turn. Maybe now that I've looked at that, maybe I'm supposed to leave Troll back on D. Oh, no, wait, sorry, I was thinking it was pump 1. Yeah, okay, I thought I did the math right, and then I'm like, wait, did you do the math wrong, Ryan? No, we did it, we got it. We got it, sorry, I was thinking it was +1/+1, but we got it. Just a little brain hiccup there, was like, what? Did I miscount? No, I'm just not reading and remembering right. My gut knew better than my brain in that instance. We did some sideboarding already that I like. I don't know if we need a Raven form. That would be the only other question here. Like, do we need to Raven form away a Cinderheart Giant? I don't like giving them more flyers. That was the problem anyway. So I'm not going to play the Raven form. Don't think we need a Yeti. I'm going to run it back. Yeah, specifically Raven forming the Cinderheart would be fine, right, Math? Like, and if you could guarantee me that, don't worry, Ryan, the Raven form is only going to show up when they have just played the Cinderheart, and it'll be fine. The trouble is, that's not the scenario we're guaranteed to get, and I don't want this to be something I'm forced to play out of desperation that then just kills me because it wasn't enough. So I'm going to let that be and run it back after our initial sideboarding. Oh yeah, I didn't look at their foretell card. I should have. I am pretty bad about that, really. This is a great start. Probably go Sculptor on 2 to go Packmate on 3 if we can get away with it. They've shown Frostbite, so we might not see a turn 3 with Sculptor, but we're going to make them have it. This is our sequencing, pretty much. Oh no, there's a pause. Bye, Sculptor. Mwah. We hardly knew you. Is Bergie worth playing on 3? What do we get for that? No, we really want the Horn, don't we? Unfortunately, we don't have a lot to manage the Freezing Flame there, but we do have a meme I should have given you long ago. I'm gonna go Frostpire Cavalry. And then next turn we can Packmate Haste if we want. Not really the worst. This actually gives us more tools to defeat Agar than before, because we have 2 Broken Wings in the deck. So now we actually have a couple more outs to get rid of that thing. Is Bergie a giant? No, a god. All right, let's do the plan of Packmate. Well, let's get some more blue. Lindy's a nice sight to see. couple of turns, we should be getting some life back, and if the cavalry lives, maybe swing for some damage. Next turn, probably just squashing the freezing flame over something like the horn. We just want this thing dead if we can get it dead. And bind is an excellent answer to the Mistwalker, as we saw last turn, or last game. Mistwalker can become a 2/3 though, so the cavalry doesn't really have an attack. But we can send in the packmate and see what they want to do. Maybe we get a free attack here. The lack of cavalry attacking kind of says that the packmate block is fine, though. Like, if we really had something, we would have sent the cav as well. So, I like their block. But gonna make them have it. They do have 2 mana up, so let's see what they can do to stop this. But hopefully, the freezing flame is squashed. Rocket, the door's fine. Come on in, buddy. What's your problem? Sometimes Rocket gets nervous about his doggy door. Maybe in his old age he doesn't want to jump through it anymore. Come on, buddy. Boy, that's a lot of mana. Summoner behind is interesting. We're gonna make him have something. We could go Burgy or Horn bind. That's not the worst, especially if we think... Although, frankly, if we get something countered in our hand, I would rather have Lindy countered than the Horn. Horn gets us their long game, so I'm going to offer up Lindy to their open mana and see what happens. Yeah, it is a lot of mana. But maybe they're just trying to hold Mistwalker to be a 4/1 to trade with a packmate, or a 3/2, right? So that it could be just holding off the packmate. And to that end, I am attacking with both. If they want to spend pumps right now to trade off for the 3/3, I'm in. Although with Summoner, there's an argument to just let it eventually come back to our hand. Icebind Pillar. Hello, friend. We could bind this monster, and it wouldn't even be the worst, but we're just going to go ahead and start pillaring our way through this. And bind the Mistwalker, I think. It's risky. If they come up with something for the pillar, we may regret not having more permanently answered this giant, but I gotta believe... I mean, we haven't seen much in the way of expected artifact interaction here. If I bind, I can't bind it. You can't really summon her, but the summoner wouldn't return this, right? So actually the bind would be okay because it leaves it there. Oh, it bounces the bind. Yeah, you're right. Very good point. Anyway, so I wasn't going to do that anyway, so that's fine. Let's bind the Mistwalker. We still have the snow to tap the giant. Not going to attack, though. Like, I'm not going to tap the giant offensively. We're going to tap it defensively. And then... yeah, I know, Brett, but I would rather bind that and use the pillar on the giant ongoing and get our attacks in next turn. Yeah, Summoner more just being a 7/7 is what that's about right now. But getting back the packmate, you'd argue, is upside. Hard to argue Cavalry's upside. Might even be willing to play the horn and pitch the summoner to the horn, given all the circumstances here. And yeah, with the broken wings to protect, I think I like that. We can start with an attack, though, and see what comes of that. We don't even really want to pitch to this yet anyway. We'll play this and tap, and then consider pitching the next turn. Yeah, we could absolutely tap the cavalry to haste up the summoner before it comes back, but we need 7 mana first, and we're not even there, so... let's make sure this is leaving us snow. It is. This is the pillar we took over that collar, and you can see why I chose the pillar. Like, it just does stuff on a board that the collar doesn't. Like it does something. It's removal. We took the great removal over the great creature, basically. Yeah, what is Oppo up to with these million lands and no action? There we go. Maybe they're trying to find something better than the Hulk that can't block alone. Not even going to use Bind the Monster. I am going to pitch the Summoner. I want one forest for the Broken Wings, but we can do this. Troll. And 1 snow for the tap, 2 snow for the activate. So let's cav up the troll. I'm going to go shields down on troll for damage here because I think we're just racing to the finish. Although, actually, not with not pumping, we get Broken Wings and Pillar activation. So I'm going to be patient. I think it's worth holding up. Well, why not swing cav? Because I thought I was going to pump this, but now I'm not. So, same damage, 1 extra tapped creature. Hey, we did it. Tance, were you my oppo, or are you just saying good game as a viewer? I sometimes my opponent comes into chat and says hello. I'm not sure if that was happening, or you're just saying nice work. If that was you, oh, okay. Well, thanks for viewing and commenting on the goodness of that game. Let's get 3. Play in for the best profit the average queue has to offer in these parts, doubling your buy-in. I'm not 100% it was the right line. It was certainly justifiable, pitching the giant. I mean, you could have kept the summoner and it would have eventually hasted, but I just felt like I wanted to dig for lands and action since we couldn't cast it immediately anyway. This flipped, but not into a land. It's not a spell land, so we're gonna mulligan this and look for something. I mean, you show me the forest on top. Maybe I even keep this, but it's a little sketchy even with that. This is no better. We're gonna mulligan a second time. And keep this. Ditch the wings as narrower removal. And really might have to just give up the gold vein pick and hope that Sculptor Collar is enough with this to get it done. I just like that this represents all three of our mana, all of our colors. So do that. Well, wish you had been in our last opener, because I would have put you on the bottom, Summoner. Let's go blue snow into green, cast the Sculptor, and then maybe start calling. Yeah, I mean, we could be in a spot where the way we win this game is early collar activations for good value. I'm going to try here at least, though, to start. On turn 4 now, we will have Collar Sculptor, and then potentially, yeah, send in a couple. You know, we'd have the mana to do 2, I think. Marshall, Marshall, Marshall. Oop. Let's see, we want to do this and this so that we can Sculptor. Yeah, we could get this out right quick if we ramp up to it. And against Boros aggro, it could be quite devastating if they build out a wide board. Finding a land, certainly part of that. And also questioning whether we put Oppo to the test. I'm going to say yes. We have a Frostpire in hand, so I'm going to go... I'm going to activate this mountain. And we could play this, untap 2 lands, and even activate the island. You want to send mountain and island here? Or set up for pup? Trouble is if we send island and they trade for it, they could really hurt our mana. But we may want to put them to that test anyway. I kind of want to put them to that test anyway. But I guess we still don't have it, right? Because we go Sculptor untaps, tap, Sculptor untap, tap, and then what are we animating? So we don't even have it, so never mind. But we will offer this mountain. And if they take it, we can untap it and play the pup at least. And now we're basic land away from Summoner next turn if we want to do that. It pulls our stuff back too, but what a beast. They kind of need Bound in Gold at that point. Interesting attack. It means we could offer the Sculptor, but given the possibility of Summoner, I think we should just take this and see if we can get him with a lucky top deck of a land. And yes, I wasn't specific there, Magic Gods, but I've been very specific about basic ahead of that comment. Trouble is, a lot of our lands are ETB tapped, so much of our land outs do not do the Cyclone Summoner next turn. This would be great, though. Bounce, just undo a lot of their work, and then we have the biggest thing on board. Come on, one time, dealer. I see. I see. See how it is. very medium. I mean, you can tell me what you want to run instead. I've cut this, but basically there's just, we have 2 pieces of equip that make the pup solid, but it's not, it's like the 23rd card, totally. Really, we should just fire this off. I mean, they get the Marshal. And but they're at 9. I think we have to. So, yeah, let's do that. We have first strike for the 5/1 currently, but like this is just a bad sitch. So I think we should do it. And I guess we want that land. Nah, I don't want either of these. I could have attacked with Pup, but I had the attack with Collar. It's 1 damage either way. Well, maybe I don't have a plan for the Marshal, but I sure didn't have a plan for an incredibly wide board of creatures. So, I don't know. I think that was trouble for us no matter what. Looks like between the Marshal itself and the Hammer, we can bring in another. Now, you're hard pressed to get me to bring this in. I will cut the Pup though, and do kind of the thing we did last time. Add a Bind in. Bind is really great against the aggro decks. Although Pup had a role there in that it does block aggro, but not super well. 2/2 embarrasses it, so unless you get one of these equips. So we're gonna take it out, and I like the other wings in over a Raven form. And so we add a Bind, we add a Wings, we protect our stuff, because aggro Boros is less interactive, is less trying to, not that they don't have removal, but they're less about getting our stuff and more about getting their attack on. All right, well, we're guaranteed 1,000 gems here, but we need back-to-back wins to achieve profit. But I'm happy we're at least playing in the finals, so to speak. Ugh, kind of gross, but get a blue source. We have a Pillar and a Wings, is obviously good against what they're doing, and I hate mulliganing. I'm going to keep this. I especially hate mulliganing on the play. You're just so far down on cards in that spot. Down 2 cards is a rough way to start a game of Magic. I'll start with the Snowland. Doesn't really matter though. And I'm going to go Snowland here. And then we have Pillar set up for activation. Could hold up the Wings, but nah, we just want to get this Pillar out. They're going to get another crack at us, but then we can foretell the reinforcements and have Pillar, or we can fire off the Broken Wings if they show us a target. I'm not going to hold this up, but if they show us a target, we can use it. But if they don't show us a target, I'm going foretell and Pillar activation next turn, barring draw that changes that. Nice curve out from Oppo. If we lose here, it's just a cap tipping situation. That does change our turn, but only in that we're going to add a blocker and have a tap. Hurry up and block, Berserker. Thanks, David. Yeah, the Annul just feels too responsive. I don't like it as a sideboard card, even when it technically seems like it would have targets. What do we want to trade for? The Seeker or the Berserker? I kind of feel like we don't care about life total too much. If I'm gonna tap the Seeker, they get a free attack with the pup this way. You can make an argument to tap the pup. But I like trading off for the Berserker, and if they want to spend a turn activating the pup, awesome. We get a hard cast of reinforcements with a tap next turn, and then hopefully Lindy after that. All right, they are affecting our ability to tap, but we do have Lindy around the corner, so that's nice to see. And we're going to play the reinforcements. The pup gets another attack. The Story Seeker has easy blocks now. I could also Broken Wings the Bound, but I can't Broken Wings the Bound and reinforce. And this turn I want to reinforce, but we will we'll unlock our pillar eventually. It's just not an urgent thing with the Lindworm around the corner. They're not playing black. We're not going to have this discarded, so we have time. And I'm going Lindy next turn for that reason. Okay, that's interesting. They foretold this, right? This is in... Is that foretold? No, wait, it's not. What did they just do? Oh, no, they did. Okay, I wish this had a very clear foretell symbol. Right? Is this foretold? Or go to the game log. I'll just check the game log and see what... Oh, there's no game log. I have no idea whether I'm looking at a card in hand or not. I don't know. Yeah, so, okay, I guess that is. There we go. Thank you. So yeah, what is that, and what are we playing around, and how do we want to do it? I kind of like pick, wings, pillar here. Yeah, where, though? I was looking for... Oh, yeah, here. I knew there was, like, a hand size thing, and I was trying to find it. I couldn't find it. There we go. Yeah, it could be a Titan, exactly. I kind of like having the pillar here, because a Titan would be pretty rough on this board. So I'm going to go pick and be prepared to unlock our pillar. Yeah, easy to say, Prof, but there are spots where we straight lose by playing the Lindy. Not maybe on this actual turn. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you could justify the Lindy with our life total going up to 15, but I like this line anyway. Especially because if it is something like a Titan, like they would play it here, right? Because they think this is locked down. Make sure you click the right place there. Don't want to accidentally kill your own pillar. And we'll lock down this warrior so that they can't pump the team to get above trading a Seeker for a Berserker. They obviously still have pup attacks, but that's fine. Wouldn't mind a basic land so we could Lindy and pillar. Tap land is the thing we want least. So either action or basic land. We got the basic land side. And it's leaving us our snow mana. There's a pause here. What does that mean? Probably means this is some sort of combat trick. Could be a bolt, could be the double strike. Could be a lot of things. But I'm going to send in one of these berserkers. Yeah, it could be Warhorn Blast, pump the team. A lot of good things for Boros could be lurking in a Foretold card for sure. And we're going to tap down the... We could tap down the Pup at this point, given the Lindy. But I like tapping on the Warrior again and seeing if they want to attack. Like, if they attack... Given this tap, it says a lot. All right. And now we've got Summoner, which we can cast, but we lose our Berserkers. Summoner is a strong card, but it has some non-bowish stuff going on, including right here. I like picking up one of the Berserkers, though. We can send in and see if they block there. I think we hold this. Although if they're not willing to send in, we could also argue Worm pick. If it's deal 5, they have a block and kill on Worm. But I kind of like Rob's line. Just pick on a token and attack only with it. We'll stay conservative on D. Go ahead and move said pick and still have the pillar play. So what is their unwillingness to attack into the 6/6 with the warrior tapped tell us? Again, it probably means not... You know, nothing like that. It's probably not Demon Bolt. I would trade Story Seeker and a Demon Bolt for this Lindy, right? So that's the kind of thing I'm thinking about here. Now, Squash is really excellent to have in hand. And I'm going to keep doing what we've been doing until they change the texture of things, especially given the Squash in hand. Yes, sure, I'm more worried about a combat trick on a Fearless Pup. The reason I'm tapping the way I'm tapping is that the Warrior being down means that Story Seeker trades straight up for a 2/1. That's really what I'm preserving here. But they don't seem willing to attack into the Lindworm anyway, so maybe it's moot. Yeah, it doesn't seem like Run Amok. All these things, like, there's so many things that get eliminated by the unwillingness to attack into the Lindworm in terms of what we're playing around or worried about. So I'm going to keep doing the play that's been allowing us to advance their life total towards 0. See where they're going to put this. Yeah, not a surprise there. Kind of want to send in with a bunch of stuff to get them to trade off for our tokens, and then like maybe we just kill the pup and then send everything, and then we can finish the turn with a summoner that likely sends back the Lindworm after trading off a couple of tokens. Maybe I'm just itching to play my summoner, but it feels real. I'm going to take out this thing. Bind is super interesting for post summoner, but I'm gonna go with the plan as stated. Gonna pile on now. Yeah, that's why I want. Well, we'll see. I'm gonna send in and we'll see what they do. Having the bind plus pillar as an alternative to the summoner is an interesting place to be post attacks. But I'm gonna risk it. Which card are we talking about? Okay, so they're only doing a chump there. That's interesting. Trumpet Blast, for whatever it's worth, was my MVP with double Clarion Spirit. I mean, I think you gotta know why and when you're casting it. But we do have this choice now. We could Summoner, we lose ours, we send them back. I kind of like binding the Battershield Warrior and tapping the Raider, and then we don't really care. Like, what are they gonna do? Now, you like gianting here? I don't think they've given us a reason to giant yet. We're gonna do this. Aha! It was Iron Verdict. So people were wondering if that was what was going on. But now we seem like in a very good spot. We can tap down the Story Seeker. You want to come at us with a 2/2? That's cool. Yeah, if they could get enough sample size on 17 lands, you could do really interesting stuff in terms of seeing, okay, well, the Warhorn Blast is playable when these other cards are in your deck. You know, when Clarion Spirits are in your deck, that kind of thing. Here we get the Slumber Mound for sure, and then still wondering. I just feel like we don't need to do anything other than what we're doing, right? So let's keep at it. If nothing changes, we win, so let's make them change. All right, we've earned one more game. Well, you can see that, like, we had this ostensibly powerful summoner that never had a spot to land, but it felt very powerful to have it in our hand as a reset button we could turn to if we need it. I'm going to keep it in, and I'm going to keep our changes and send this back. All right. Play in for 3K gems. Let's get there. Tighten up. Focus in. Yeah, those are the most interesting ones on the list, right? The ones that give you that get worse as you draw them, but improve your EV by being in your deck, which might just say that this card is in an archetype that if you convince yourself, that if you give yourself reasons to get into this archetype, you have found a great archetype. It's a fine looking opener for us. We get Packmate, Foretell, and Packmate tap land on 3, which is a great sequence. I guess I'll start with the tap land that is actually in our colors instead of the enter the battlefield, tap Snow Mountain we have here. So bind produces another possibility here if we want to go with like troll on 3. But I think I'm going to stick with my plan. We may draw a basic land which will allow us to Packmate and bind on 3 anyway. And Packmate on 3 is a great defender against Boros aggro. Exactly. This gives us double draw for the basic to do exactly that. Except it has to be an island, which is not... It's a much narrower window of possibility. So now... Yeah, we still Packmate here. This is a nice open for them, but I like... our recovery plan. Let's see, we'll play Slumber Mound over the Snowland. Doesn't really matter again. It's a tapped red source. And I am snapping off Packmate in front of the Warrior. I'll trade for Tricks or Pump. What's a blowout here? Is there anything? No, it still just trades for a trick in hand. It's only a blowout if whatever they do to kill the Packmate leaves a legacy on board that makes their board all that much better. So I'm just gonna make the offer. And boy, if the trade is off the boast, yeah, that's the trade. That's more like the trade I was expecting, right? If it was just boast trade, we were going to be super happy. But now, Oppo's in a bit of a bind in that we have some things to do. I guess we drop the Warrior here. So let's bind the Warrior, let them attack again with the Pup if they want, and then... Do we have any other plays, though? That's our real problem here, is that we don't have any great plays unless we want to Ice Hide Troll, but that takes us off of bind. And I think I just want to bind and play the land and take another beat from the Pup, but hopefully we can stabilize... depending on the power of what our what Oppo drops here. Next turn we get Ice Hide Troll plus Bind. And Broken Wings, or Broken Wings, if we want to do that. We could Bind and Broken Wings the hammer. It looks like they're going to try to equip that anyway. Anyway, definitely binding the Pup. And playing the Highland Forest. I don't think this is going to hurt us next turn because they might have 5 mana, and if they spend 3 of it to haste to equip something up, I mean, it's probably not going to have haste anyway. So let's just go ahead and troll now. And if they use removal to get the troll while shields are down, we're going to accept that. I want to get Bergie on the Horn side. I just don't think Bergie on the creature side is where we want to be, although you're right that if we get desperate, we would, right? A 3/3 blocker might be what we need, and if they take out the troll, we'll consider that. But we're very close to Lindy mana as well. We're just a 1 basic away from Lindying. Yeah, and with that, I kind of like Horn here if they haven't found anything to attack us with yet. And then we can maybe even pitch, although we could also foretell and just have the Broken Wings ready. Let's do that. Let's foretell and have Broken Wings ready. Rob wants to keep up the squash. I think if we keep up the Broken Wings, we have the better blowout chance anyway. You just want to actually play the dudes? Nah, I'm going to be control-y, I think. But also, oh yeah, we still have the green under there, so that's fine. I'm leaving up wings, but not the squash. And yes, with wings, I think we swing away. And if they want to verdict the troll, that's fine. They won't anyway. We have the snow. Sequentially, I should have attacked first, I suppose, to inform our main phase a little more, but that probably would have been my play no matter what. Even if they'd, like, taken out the troll or something, or tried to. Interesting. So that lands, but we can unlock the troll, or we can kill the hammer. I'm not sure which is more important. Feels like the hammer is more important, although the troll just blocks everything forever, right? So, tough call. They both have a similar job. The Broken Wings taking out this versus this does something similar to how we defend this game. Suriana says we don't even need to cast it this turn. I think that's a mistake, to not use our mana up when we have two incredibly juicy targets. Yeah, we can figure it out later, but then we've thrown away 3 mana. I can't do that. We do get to kill the first thing they play, so maybe that's a reason to take the unlock the troll, and the troll attacks. All right, I'm going to do that. Kill hammer because we have Lindy is also a reasonable line. Here I like cavalry and reinforcements to apply a lot of pressure here over holding up squash or casting Bergie or anything, or even playing this on the horn side. We'll use the horn here to once we've turned the corner, but I'm gonna keep spitting out dudes for now. Yeah, Bergie into cav into reinforcements is a possibility as well, because we would get, but I'm gonna stick with my plan. I think this is fine. I really would like to hold the horn for grindy advantage as we go. And then now we're a basic away from hasting Lindy in as well. I like this. And that's okay. We don't get the hasty Lindy, but we still have plenty of blocks. And that's not a sad loss either, so this is all fine. We can go... I like send in the Berserker and just hold up Squash, or play the Horn to set up. But I think Squash is correct, because they might go to equip Hammer, and then squashing would be a blowout. Yeah, we could Bergie plus pick and equip. Do you want? Is that what we want? Maybe I'm the one being greedy, trying to get this horn going, as opposed to just playing out a ramping creature. Squash and attack is another thing we could do. Just get aggro on it and attack with both. We can attack with both anyway, though. So I don't think we need to squash and attack. I think we just attack. So I've gone with a line of basically hold up squash. Hey Ashley, thank you for that sub. Squash and attack. We didn't need to squash, we just needed to attack, and now we have squash if they try to equip. And if they probably smell this out. I mean, we're not really fooling them. Oppo probably doesn't bother equipping knowing that they smell some removal here, but I still like this line. And I guess we'll let it go to the very end before we fire off the squash, but I am going to do it. Double run amok could be a punishing... Yeah, we just lose if they have double run amok. I mean, I guess I'm not playing around 2 pump spells. All right. So now let's get Lindy down. And then Bergie starts on Horn, starts to become what we want. And I'm going to be aggressive enough to send in our 2-1. They're not blocking. I mean, they could remove this and get in, but they got to do a lot to, like, remove and do a lot of damage to us. I admit it is quite possible I have erred in not just going with the 3-3 at some point by now, but it's such a powerful effect to win a long game with that I'm clinging to it, I admit it. And now we can almost make it must block. If we put the pick on the 2-1 and send both, if they take, they go to 1. And they can crack back for some amount, but not 13 unless this is double strike. If this is a double strike, we would lose to that. But I kind of like pick and sculptor for the chump in that case, right? Gonna do it. Make them have it. Yeah, it would still save a couple. I just don't think, I don't think they can get us from, I'm betting they can't get us from 13 to 0. And I guess we'll see. We could play Bergie and hook it, equip it though, to get 4-4. I'm gonna do this. This doesn't add toughness, so this is technically a trade as well. That's nice. And even if this is the double strike, first is this, it could be, okay, it's not, it is in hand, and they do have the mana to double strike, but we're not dead if it is, so this is a no-brainer block. Oh yeah, they had just had the pump to save it, but still, the point is there's a no-brainer block. And GG? GG! All right. How about that, gang? This week's going all right. If they had double struck, because they would have 7, 8, 16, 15, 14, 13... Yeah, you're right. Woo! I guess I wasn't successfully playing around that. I thought I was, but the math doesn't check out. However, they didn't have it, so we get to do the profit dance. Tight one. Yeah, it looks like I had safer lines, but was not punished for taking riskier lines. Some days you get punished, some days you don't. Today was you don't for us. And I bet we're close to, let's see how we're doing on this set. Oh, we're only at 6 cards, 6 packs. I don't really want to open those. All right. Let's hop here and thank our YouTube friends for hanging out for that one. Nice 3-0. We're max winning left and right all of a sudden. I think we went from, didn't I go 7 win on Thursday into 7-0ing chat on Friday into 7 winning yesterday into 3-0ing today? Wow. Sometimes you're on a roll. We're on a roll right now. I'll try to remember that the next time I'm feeling bad about myself because of how we're most definitely not on one. You know how that goes. In any case, I'm going to be thankful for our results right now and give you a farewell, YouTube friends. Remember to check out Card Kingdoms pre-orders for Strixhaven, and give me some likes and follows and all that algorithm juicing stuff. We'll catch you next time.